And so the working edge is right here, just one working edge, and the opposite side would have this side as the working edge. But I want to use a modified pen grasp, which is, you know, like grasp it like a pen or pencil, and then we're just gonna modify it, and we want to get this surface in contact with the tooth root. And so this area has been opened. I'm gonna reach down in there to the base of that pocket, and I am going to make sure that plaque and tartar is removed from that site, get out any granulation tissue as well. I'm gonna do that on all of the roots. And go on the inside here too, because we have furcation exposure. Now let's rinse it and see how it looks.
Take a picture.
Release the tissues off of the palate, off of the bone. And so I'm gonna, normally I'd hold this instrument differently. I'm holding it so you can still see what I'm doing. I'm gonna go against the palatal bone. I'm just gonna lift it just a few millimeters so that I can expose that area. Make sure we have good visualization. Now let's suction in that area. Okay, so I have released it off of the palate. And then right in here is where we have our bone loss. And then we want to use our instruments, double check that that area is clean.
Releasing your tissue makes a difference, so you can get access to the area.
This is where you take a photo with your camera. And you use suction when you do it. Go ahead and let's rinse this. We want to see it's right in there. And now suction or air or something. And so I see no diseased tissue in there.
A lot of times I can see better than the videographer, so sorry about that, but not bad.
It looks like it's clean. So the first step is cleaning. We've done that. And the next step is prepare to close, because we place our everything in here. This is gonna dislodge it all. So I'm gonna get these tissues healthy and ready to close. First, I wanna make sure we have, you know, healthy tissues as well. This is gingiva, this is mucosa. We have nice gingival color around this too. And I can't just close it, leave a gap. I need this to come all the way around there. So I wanna make sure that any mucosa is released. So I'm just gonna kind of fenestrate the periosteum underneath the mucosa a little bit. And then I want to make sure this edge is fresh and healthy. So I'm going to trim that. I don't know if you saw that little bit of cruddy tissue I removed. I'm going to suction right here again. You see there's cruddy tissue right there. Not very much, but it's going to be on this edentulous area. And then this has cruddy tissue on the inside aspect.
So technical. My words.
So now you can see how healthy that tissue looks, nice fresh cut edges on there. So now I'm gonna prepare, we've trimmed it and ready to close, tension free. Because when I go and set this down, it pretty much wants to stay in that position. So it is tension free flat, but I might dislodge it as I'm placing those stitches. So I'm gonna start by pre-placing my suture. I am pre-placing with my mono end MT taper needle 5/0. I'm pre-placing this suture in preparation to have a nice tight gingival collar. That is a key component. Now we are going to place regum in the site. Here's our graft material. This is going to be bigger than my site, but this piece fits nicely into that furcation. So I am going to open it up, and I want to dip it in saline. My cheat method for dip it in saline is place a little bit of saline in your pouch. So we're going to take our graft material, we're going to moisten it. See how it's been moistened in the saline? So that should be enough that I should be able to trim it. And I don't want to soak it because it'll be too soft. And then we're going to trim it down. And I am intentionally making this larger so I can take some away. So I'm going to cut way back here So this site should be larger than where I need to be, but this is the part that I'm going to place into this site. So I'm gonna open that up. And we can see our sutures there, so I'm gonna place that there. And I'm gonna use my tools. And the goal is to press that into that site. So I am just gonna sit here and wait while blood softens this and fills it up. So I'm just gonna wait. See how it expanded a little, but it's definitely filling that entire space between those two roots. And then when I close that, it should be good. It's placed into the site. And now I'm gonna close this. So we have a tight gingival collar. I haven't finished knotting it, though I do want to show you how I'm gonna trim the edge. Okay, that should be 4 throws. 2mm, 3mm, 2 3mm tags. And then I am gonna grab my instrument again. And I am gonna, make sure that this little bit leaked out.
It's nice and firm
There
in
we
that
go.
whole area.
Now, I haven't finished closing, but you can see how it has a tight gingival collar to that site.